Awesome. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Today's seminar is organized by ScoutAsia, an Asia-focused information platform by Nikkei, and the co-organizer FiinGroup, Vietnam's leading integrated service provider of financial information. Today, we want to overview many topics around foreign investment in Vietnam. You will also learn briefly about solutions and products from ScoutAsia and FiinGroup. Hope you enjoy the time with us until the end. And we appreciate that many of you have shared questions through the registration form. We looked through them. They were very useful for us to understand your interests and your business as well. Later during the discussion, we will start the session by answering some of the common questions around governmental policies, sector outlook, and midterm forecasts on FDI and more. We are open for further questions from the audience during the session. So you can use the Q&A button, as you see on the screen. The button is on the black bar on your screen. So you can feel free to pose more questions to us. Now, let me quickly explain today's program. First up, a keynote presentation from Don Luc, CFA, Managing Director and Head of Market Research and Consulting Services, Fin Research at FiinGroup. Don has over 20 years of hands-on experience in market research, commercial due diligence, market entry advisory services. Today, he will give you a quick overview on the FDI landscape, featured industries and case studies. I'm sure his presentation is very, very insightful. You can download his slides after the event when you submit a feedback form. So please stay with us until the end of the whole session and take a moment to share your thoughts on the event. We appreciate your cooperation. And we are pleased to welcome Ms. Von T. Min Hill from the Ministry of Planning and Investment. Ms. Hill is Deputy Director of Department of Management of Economic Zones. She looks after broad areas around international cooperation and development of industrial zones and economic zones in Vietnam today. She joins Don for a quick discussion and a presentation during the half of the program and provide her insights from her experience in a governmental agency. And she will also stay with us until the Q&A session and take some questions from the audience. Then you will meet Daryl from ScoutAsia. Daryl is Chief Commercial Officer of ScoutAsia, as well as a founder and CEO of a Singapore-based data technology firm, Handshakes. He is an entrepreneur with an interesting background as a regulator at Singapore Exchange. He will show you an advanced information tool for research and monitoring on local businesses, local business activities and relationships in Asia. Now, I can hand over my time to the speakers. Don, please go ahead and take over my screen when you're ready.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the audience for your time to join our webinar today. And thank you, Nitasan, for your kind introduction. In my presentation, first of all, I would like to give you a quick introduction to the FiinGroup, our service offering, and our track record to serve foreign investors to penetrate the Vietnam for years. And then I would like to give you a very quick update on the Vietnam macro performance and the government policy to support the business recovery and attract more foreign investment in the year to come, and also the outlook for the macro and foreign investment. And I also share some highlight on some selected sectors that I think is very promising for the foreign investor in the years to come. And for the last section, I will join with Dario from ScoutAsia to discuss about the challenges in sourcing reliable information, business information, and market insight in here, and how we support our clients to handle the assignments here in Vietnam. Regarding the FiinGroup, for now we are the leading business information, market research, and consulting firm in Vietnam. We established in 2008, and in 2014 we welcomed Nikkei and Quick from Japan to join our firm as a strategic shareholder. And for now, they usually support us to serve foreign investor, Japanese investor, both in Vietnam and Japan. And last year we expand our business to credit rating service, and we received the technical support from S&P Global Rating to develop the business here in Vietnam. And for now in Vietnam, we provide 4 types of business: financial information, business information, market research, and credit rating. For the business information and market research division, sorry. Yes, for the business information and market research joint force to serve our foreign investor to expand business in here. For the business information, we provide the basic leveraging on our comprehensive corporate database. We provide our clients with the basic company report via the FiinGroup platform, and or the customized premium credit report upon the client specific request. Regarding the financial information, operational performance, or the litigation or negative news. Regarding the market research and consulting, we provide 4 types of service: ready to purchase report, the customized market research, commercial due diligence, and market entry advisory. We cover a wide sector from the financial service, manufacturing, agribusiness, and service. And here is the typical client portfolios. And in the next slide, I would like to give you a very quick update on the Vietnam macro performance. In 2021, we grow at a rate of 2.58% only, mainly due to the outbreak of the COVID in the second and third quarter last year, and the strict mobility restrictions. And then we have quite low vaccination coverage, below the 5% only. And then the government and the local medical authorities respond very quickly and decisively. One of the key measures is to accelerate the vaccination program. And for now, we have around 72% of adult population get the fully vaccinated, and 80% partially vaccinated. And the government plan to finish the 3rd booster shot by the end of this quarter. So Vietnam has become the few countries in the world have the highest vaccination coverage. And since we reopening the economy from last October, the manufacturing, import-export activities, and the domestic mobility rebounds very quickly. So some international donors like IDB expected that this year our economy may bounce back and reach 6.5%. this year. And as you may see on the screen, last year in the second and third quarter, our manufacturing and trade flow subdued due to the outbreak of the COVID. And since October, we reopened the economy. So the manufacturing and trade activities rebound very quickly, support to our economic rebounds this year and the upcoming years. Regarding the trade flow, Vietnam has shown its effort to integrate into the global value chains by joining various FTAs. For now, we have around 15 FTAs already, including some high standard and comprehensive ones like CPTPP or EVFTA. And for now, more and more foreign and local investors expand business in here to capitalize on the incentive and the opportunities created by the FTAs and boost export. So this support the Vietnam to enjoy continuous double-digit growth of import and export in the last 10 years. And for now, US and China has become our largest export and import markets beside other trading partners like EU, ASEAN, South Korea, or Japan. And the FDI, for now, they account for about 80 to 85% of export and play the role as the key players, key contributor to our high export growth in Vietnam in recent years. Regarding the inflation, last year we have our inflation stay at 1.8%, quite low, mainly due to the weak domestic demand and strict mobility restriction. And this year we expect that the inflation may bounce back to around 3.5%, mainly due to the recovery of the domestic demand, investment demand, and the global commodity price movement. However, this level I think is still under the government control and below the 4% limit set by the National Assembly. And thanks to the trade surplus, remittance, and the FDI and portfolio investment flow, Vietnam has maintained very strong external position. And for now, our foreign reserve reached around over 110 billion US dollars already, equivalent to around 4 months of export. And the State Bank of Vietnam has managed the monetary policy and forex market quite well and have to curb the imported inflation from the global commodity price and the logistic cost, and have the Vietnam currency more stable than other peers in recent, as you can see on the screen. And last year, and in the context of the complicated COVID situation, the government have managed and coordinate both fiscal and monetary policy quite well. On the fiscal policy, the government has provided the cash grant or the tax or the land rental exemption, reduction or the extension. However, due to some difficulties in implementation, around 2% of the GDP of the package dispersed only, and mainly the remaining is the tax deferral has expired by the year end. So the government has understand and realized the weakness and addressed this point in the new stimulus package in 2022. On the monetary side, the State Bank of Vietnam have actively reduced and maintained low policy rate and strong liquidity in the system to support the lower borrowing rates. And the central bank also guide the commercial bank to provide support to the corporate and retail customer hit by the COVID by provide the loan restructuring or reduce interest rate or the fee. And besides the fiscal and monetary policy, the government also provides series of policy to support the business to maintain the stable production and to minimize the supply chain disruption. And Ms. Hill from the MPI here will help me to give further insight on this policy later on. For now, our government has switched from the zero COVID policy to the living with the COVID policy. And since early 2022, our government has been implementing a comprehensive stimulus package of over $15 billion for the next 2 years, and including some key measures such as some mega infrastructure investment, VAT tax cut, or the reduction of interest rate to support the business and those infected by the COVID. And the government also reopened the international flight and relaxed the quarantine or the entry requirements for the tourists. So we plans to fully open the borders for the inbound or outbound tourists from this April. And for now, domestically, the local authorities has reopened the service sectors already, including the airline, hospitality, entertainment, or food service, to normalize the social and economic activities. And the next slide, I would like to give you a very quick update on the foreign investment situation here in Vietnam, including the FDI and M&A. Regarding the FDI, in 2021, we have registered a FDI capital of over $31 billion, increase around 9% compared to last year. Regarding the FDI disbursement, it's a little bit lower, mainly due to the outbreak of COVID and the strict international flight restriction. And I would like to zoom in more on the new registered FDI capital in the next slide. Here, regarding the newly registered FDI capital, the Singapore, Korean, Japan, and Hong Kong and China remain the top FDI investor in here. And the utility, manufacturing, and real estate are the top 3 sectors attractive for the foreign investor. And manufacturing and utility and manufacturing remain attractive and account for about 40 and 38% of the new FDI capital. And regarding the breakdown of the manufacturing's electric parts, electric equipments, packaging, textile, or auto parts are the main subsectors attract the FDI flow. Regarding the utility, we see that we have received a significant FDI investment in the LNG, wind, and coal-fired power. And I would like to talk more about the power sector later in my presentation. Regarding the M&A, for the last 10 months, we witnessed around $8.8 billion. And for the whole year, I think I estimate that the figure may reach around over 9 billion, increase around 15 or 20% compared to last year, showing the strong fundamentals of the local corporates in here. And the M&A has become an optimal market entry strategies for the foreign investor to penetrate the market in here. And besides the local player, Japan, Korea, and China are the top 3 active players in M&A. And financial service, real estate, and consumer goods are the top 3 sectors very attractive for the foreign investor. And the next slide, I would like to give you a very quick highlight on the few sectors that I think are promising for the foreign investor in the time to come. The first one is the energy sector. For the last 5 years, the power sector in Vietnam enjoy an annual rate of around 8.4%, mainly thanks to the strong economic growth and the household consumption. And as you may know, in November last year, in United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP26, our Prime Minister has announced the national commitment to zero carbon emission and facilitate the circular economic developments. And therefore, accordingly, the power plant develop the master power development plans number 8 has been requested by the Prime Minister to revise to incorporate the government commitments in the COP26. The direction of the revision is to reduce weight of the coal-fired power and encouraging the developments of the clean and renewable energy and the new energy storage system. For example, the hydrogen production or the storage pump hydropower. And here we expect that by in the next 10 years, we may have around 40% contribution from the clean and renewable energy, including around 15% from the renewable energy and 25% from the gas-fired power. So I think that in the long run, the energy sector will be very promising. And so therefore, in recent years, we see significant investment in the sector, and we hope to see more dividends in the time to come in the sector. And the second promising sector I would like to introduce in here is water supply. And as you may know, in the last 5 years, the water supply sector in here enjoy an annual growth rate of 8%, 8.3%. And one of the key drivers is coming from the household consumption. And for now, household consumption account for about 80% of the water volume in Vietnam. But the water penetration rate in Vietnam is quite low. And we expect the growth rate, this rate will be grow very fast in the time to come, thanks to the fast urbanization and improved standard of living of people. And the second one driver is come from the industrial park. Industrial park for now account for about 30% of the water consumption in Vietnam. And the industrial park has been expanded very fast in Vietnam in recent years to meet the expansion of the manufacturing from both local and foreign investors in here. So we expect that the segment also enjoy the healthy growth in the time to come. And for the water supply sector, for now, the government delayed the divestment or the IPO of the large state-owned water supply sector. So the optimal way to enter the market is to purchase existing private ones in the sector. So we see the more investment in the private players in the markets in recent years. And as you may know, for the water supply business provides a very stable and recurring revenue and cash flow stream. And therefore, it has been attract more foreign investors in recent years. And I also expect to see more done in the sector in the years to come. And the last one I would like to introduce in here is the financial service. The financial service includes several subsegments, including the banking, consumer finance, insurance, or security service. I would like to choose the banking and consumer finance as the key representative of the sector. And in the last 5 years, even during the COVID period, the great institution in here enjoyed the double-digit growth. And looking forward, the financial sector, I think we have the promising outlook thanks to the very young and tech-savvy population and growing disposable income and consumption, and very low sector penetration rate in terms of the consumer lending or the bank population ratios. And in recent years, despite the effort of the local bank to raise capital. However, for now, in Vietnam, the capital adequacy ratios of the local bank is quite low compared to other peers in region, as you can see on the figure 27. So I think that it's implies the more opportunities for the foreign players to enter the market by purchasing stake in the local player. And regarding the financial sector, especially for the banking and consumer finance, for now, the Vietnam government and the State Bank of Vietnam do not provide the new license to establish the new one in Vietnam. So that because they want to focus on restructuring of the existing one. So therefore, the optimal way to enter the market in here is to purchase existing one in the market. So besides some recent mega transactions in the last few years, I also expect more and more transactions in the sector in the future in Vietnam. Regarding the outlook, I think that in the next 5 years, our country will enjoy an average growth rate of around 6 to 7%. And the COVID-19 will be well controlled domestically and globally. And our rebound of the economy will be backed by the disbursement of the mega infrastructure and the export recovery and the growing private investment by both foreign and local investors. And we expect that the inflation will bounce back to 3.5% this year. However, as I mentioned, it would remain under the government control and below the 4% target by the National Assembly. And I would like to stress that the fundamentals of our economy remain strong, creating two engines for the growth. The first one is come from the compelling domestic demand, thanks to the favorable demographic and social and political stability. And the second one is the export demand, export markets, as we has joined various FTAs and more and more foreign investors coming switch their manufacturing facilities to Vietnam, have our company to become the regional manufacturing hub in the near term. And for now, in Vietnam, the digital transformation is one of the key priority and has been implemented by both the government and the business community as the measure to support the sustainable economic growth and pandemic response. And the foreign investment in some sustainable and environmentally friendly sectors, such as the renewable energy, clean energy, electric vehicle or recycle business, are encouraged by central and provincial governments. And here I list out some sectors I think promising for the foreign investment in Vietnam in the future. The logistics, including some segments such as the port operation, warehousing, or cold chain, supporting for both the domestic demand and export markets, export demands. Technologies, financial service, utility, mainly the clean energy, water supply, or waste treatment. Healthcare and education service is quite promising also. And manufacturing, especially the part manufacturing, packaging or consumer goods. Yeah, and the last one is maybe the industrial real estate, i.e. the industrial park. So yes, I would like to conclude my presentation in here, and I hope that my presentation have give you a very quick update on the macro performance in here and some promising sector for the foreign investor in the time to come. And for now, I would like to introduce Ms. Hill from the MPI. She would help me to give further insight on some government policy to support the business and attract more foreign investment in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dong, and thank you very much for a very nice presentation. Actually, the presentation has a lot of information, and it shows that an overview picture about the prospect of Vietnamese economy in the coming time. Today, it is my great honor to be here to share with you some information from the government sectors on the recovery of Vietnamese economy. You may know that since 2014, the government already determined that improvement of business environment and increasing the national competitiveness and promotion of innovation towards sustainable development are the focus of reform and regular important tasks of the government. And following this direction, ministries, the ministerial agencies and locality have tried to remove lots of difficulties and mobilizing social resources to, as well as attracting domestic and foreign investment. Thanks to the effort of the government and the business circle and also the citizens, Vietnam has already been considered as a promising destination for foreign investment with a dynamic economy and great openness with high growth rates. I can show you some figure about the global ranking of Vietnam. For example, about the competitiveness, we ranked at 67th out of 141 countries in the table of World Economic Forum. Innovation indexes ranks at 44 out of 132, and sustainable of the UN, we rank about 51 out of 165 countries in 2021. And so the positive improvement of business environment has also been clearly demonstrated among the business sectors. In 2020, around 60% of enterprise were evaluated and to show that the government has provided good improvement of business environment in the country. And that's the case before COVID-19 happened. Since 2020, the reform of business environment has tended to stand still due to the COVID-19 pandemic, as you know, and the government already applied a lot of measures to have the enterprises sectors and also have the citizen to come back to the normal life. Mr. already showed you a lot of information on his slide, and I just emphasize the national stimulus, a comprehensive stimulus package that the government already launched since the beginning of 2022, which includes public spending of around 2% of the GDP this year to create jobs, raise income, and achieve the GDP growth rate of around 6 to 6.5% in 2022, with the hope that the businesses will reboot production and return to pre-pandemic levels. And the comprehensive stimulus package worth around $15.5 billion US, which aims at 5 categories. First one, to open the economy concurrently with upgrading the medical and capability to prevent and combat again pandemic, which worth around 40 trillion Vietnamese dong. And secondly, to ensure the social welfare and employment assistance, with, for example, we provide 3 months housing rent for employees in the industrial parks, providing subsidy for back to work employees and citizens, and soft loans for enterprises, which are provided from by the Vietnam Bank for Social Policy. And third, the government provide assistance to recover enterprise, cooperative, and household businesses affected by COVID-19 through tax and fee reductions. For example, the VAT reduction from 10% to 8%, or 50 reduction on environmental protection fee applied to airplane fuel, 30% reduction on land and surface rental fee. I think the reduction of tax and fees will have a very great impact to the business sector. And fourth, we provide investment for infrastructure development, which is will apply for strategic and feasible and highly absorbed to the national economy project. For example, the North-South Highway and National Highway, the infrastructure to provide linkages between economic regions, ports, border gates, and industrial park infrastructures. And one of important part of the economy is the digital transformation. And third, the institutional and administrative streamlining was also highlighted as very important part of the comprehensive stimulus package, which will improve the national investment and business environment and aim to remove institutional barrier for development. And I think in 2020, Vietnam remained a very competitive destination for FDI with a political and social stability, a strategic location in the region, a young and diligent workforce with the high skilled labor and reasonable labor costs, a huge market with 100 million, and a relative open environment for FDI. And especially Vietnam has, we have got initially successful in combating against COVID-19 with a lot of policy to assist business sectors, including foreign and domestic enterprise. And the country, as Mr. Dong said, we have 15 new FTA, of which including the very comprehensive FTA, CPTPP and EVFTA, which will bring the more opportunity for enterprise and the FDI sectors. Yeah, and despite the COVID-19 pandemic in 2021, FDI in Vietnam's already in totally reached around $400 billion with about approximately more than 54,000 projects from 140 countries and territories. And foreign investors remain optimistic about Vietnam, and we see several businesses, big investors such as LG expanding manufacturing in the facility, while Lego Group also announced they plan to invest more than $1 billion project in Bình Dương. So with a solid vision for the future, I think the country has created a concrete foundation to bounce back stronger in 2020. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Yo, for your insightful discussion on the government policy. Yes, so I would like to transfer back to Anita-san. Thank you.
Okay, thank you both. Now I think I'd like to have Darryl, please.
Thank you very much, Nita-san. Thank you very much also, Dong and Miss Yu, for the wonderful sharing. As everyone has seen, there's a lot of exciting opportunities in Vietnam. And, you know, I'm really, what Dong and I are here to do is to try and help everyone get information, get ideas, and convert ideas into actionable intelligence. Yeah, so I'm going to actually tag team with Dong. We've actually, discussed how we'll handle this. So Dong shared with you just now about some very exciting sectors in Vietnam that is worth taking a closer look at. And in particular, just now, Dong actually mentioned utilities, power, water. Yeah, so I'm actually going to use ScoutAsia live to show you why he feels that there's so much opportunity there. And through this, I hope to show you that really what we're trying to do at ScoutAsia is to help you combine the usefulness of corporate news together with corporate data. And we have partnered with FiinGroup for the corporate data. I'll also show that to you. So I'm going to click on this radar function that we have, and I created a radar to monitor the Vietnam sectors, particularly the highlighted sectors that Mr. Dong actually shared. So Vietnam's energy, water, and financial services sectors. Yeah. So what we do is we specialize in training AIs that can recognize these companies and sectors very accurately. We've compiled a lot of the key news sources in the region. They are streaming in live, and then the AI is continually picking up relevant news for you. I'm going to make this a bit bigger so it's easier for you to read. So you can see here in this radar that the AI that is trained to look at energy, water, and financial services in Vietnam has picked up quite a few news articles. And even articles from just 4 hours ago, 6 hours ago, they're all coming out live. And you can see there's actually a lot of developments in Vietnam. In this case here, the latest news is about renewable energy center being set up. And what's interesting also is because there's so much new happening in Vietnam, there's a lot of articles to read. So what we do is, if you have the full article and you read it, there's a lot of words you have to read. But with technology, we can also help you to summarize it on the fly. So we can actually have an AI to read every single word for you and pick up the 3 key points and put it into a simple interface. So you can just in one scroll, get a good idea, about what's happening. You can deep dive if you want. But, this is really to cement the point that, Mr. Dong and Ms. Yu is saying there's a lot of opportunities in Vietnam, so much news, so many activities, both in investment, regulation, M&A. Yeah, so you can see as I scroll, there's so many things happening, and we're just talking about utilities and financial services right now. Yeah, so we hope that we can also, if you're interested, help you to actually get information to corroborate your ideas. And when I click on articles, you can see I can read the full content. And we are able also to recommend if there's actually more relevant news that maybe you didn't think of. Beyond that, sometimes when you read articles, so let me find one example for you. Okay, I will use, so just now, we also talked about M&A. I know that there are quite a lot of questions about M&A. So I set up another AI to pick up M&A news involving the Vietnamese startups and big corporates. And you can see here that there's quite a lot of news and activities about M&A. If I were to click on the articles, you will be able to see the articles, and you can see we will pick up the company for you. And if you want, you can click on that and you can deep dive on those companies. So all the articles are coming from Nikkei. And Nikkei has a huge network with all the main title flagship publishers around the region. So that's basically where we get the information. It's always from the main flagship news agencies and publishers in the region. More importantly, once you identify a market, an industry, a sector, and some companies you want to consider exploring, in Asia, the most important thing is you need to understand the network of relationships. And that is the next step that we try to help. So this is where we've partnered with FiinGroup. FiinGroup has a wonderful database of data on every private company and listed company in Vietnam. And we basically take that data and we put it on a graph database. And that allows you to do something very interesting. Just now, in one of Mr. Dong's slides, he mentioned water as a useful industry to look at. I'm going to select the company registry for Vietnam data set that we have. As you can see, we can do the same for Singapore private companies, Malaysia private companies, and Chinese private companies. But right now, we're talking about Vietnam. The company in one of his slides was DNP Water. So I'm just going to type that and then do a search. We're now searching FiinGroup's database and it's calling and looking. Okay, so it found a match. There's a DNP water joint stock company. Let me do a search on that. So all this is live. So right now we're pulling data on that company. You can see that there are certain people and companies connected to this DNP. And you can see that DNP joint stock company has investments in many companies. So they are a shareholder, for example, of this subsidiary. Some companies, the lines are dotted. It means that the relationship is in the past. They've sold the shares off. In this case here, the line is not dotted. It means that they are still a shareholder. You can see that there's a person called Mr. Ho Viet Ha here, who is, let me move some data out of the way, who is the legal rep and chairman. And he has 7 companies. If I look here, he has 7 companies that we know he's connected to. So let me go ahead and expand on him. And now you can see he actually has connections, directorships, or shareholdings in other companies in Vietnam. And you can see there's also, a water supply sewerage joint stock company in Tay Ninh here. Also legal rep and chairman. And I can go ahead and expand that as well. And then we can find out who are the other people connected, and we can keep going. And sometimes you can see there's a cross linkage. So for example, here, I can actually see that there's a company here. This company has a cross-shareholding relationship between the two. This is extremely important when you're trying to take ideas from a macro perspective, go down to industry, identify companies, and then now you're actually trying to see, how do I do business with this opportunity? So this is essentially ScoutAsia and Nikkei technology with FiinGroup data made available for you. We hope that if you enjoy and you think that this is useful for you, contact us and be very happy to see how we can help you. So just to share a bit of background about what we do, you can actually see that, okay, sorry, I think the feed just cut when I did that. Let me reshare my screen. Okay, so you can see that we're actually a joint venture company by Nikkei and the Financial Times. And more importantly is we compile data from the key information providers in the world. FiinGroup is fantastic in Vietnam, but we also work with other providers for the rest of the region. In Vietnam, FiinGroup has a wonderful database of private companies. You can see some of the information here. About over 100,000 of the key companies in Vietnam we are covered. So you can do the graphing. And we have over 100,000 news articles, and it grows daily, of course. So we hope that, if you want to do deep research on Vietnam, we're able to help you so that you can turn ideas into actionable intelligence. So just, I know we're conscious of your time, and thank you for your time. If you're very interested to try this, feel free to contact us, and we'd be very happy to fix you up with a trial and help you out with your needs. Thank you very much. Mr. Dong, Akane-san, handing back to you.
Thank you, Daryl. Cool. Thank you, speakers. Now I'd like to invite all of you to the Q&A session. Actually, we see a lot of questions and comments from the audience. Thank you so much. Some of you came to the chat, but also we see some on the Q&A as well. Our team is now looking through it. But before going to pick up questions from there, we'd like to answer some of the questions we have received in advance. So I think I would like to pick up a few questions on the governmental policies and initiatives, I think. So we got some questions about the policies to attract the entire foreign investment, and also the stimulate package by the government, and any specific sector that the government is supporting. I know some of the points are overlapping the presentations from Don and Ms. Hill. But I think may I ask Ms. Hill your comments on these questions, please?
Hi, Nita-san from FiinGroup side. So I believe that before we move into the Q&A section, we still got part of FiinGroup presentation first.
Excuse me. If you'd like to present your screen, you can take over now.
Yes, hi everyone, and thank you, Nita-san. Yeah, so before moving down to the Q&A session, I would like to give you very quick challenges of the foreign investor in Vietnam in sourcing reliable business information and market insight, and how we support them to handle their assignment here in Vietnam. Yes. In Vietnam, as you may know, one of the key challenges for the foreign investor in here is that the business information and the market insight is fragmented, is not centrally managed and not available in the public domains. So the challenge for them is the availability and reliability of the business information and market insight. And in the next slide, would like to share with you some common requests we received from the foreign investor, and from the basic to completed one, and how we support our clients in here regarding this point. Không chỉnh được, chỉnh lại cho anh cái. Okay. Okay. One of the basic requests we usually receive from our customer is the sourcing basic information on private company in Vietnam, and our solution is to provide our clients with the FiinGroup platform, and in the platform we display all the corporate database, and the customer can filter and double check the corporate information on the target company based on any criteria they want on real-time basis. And the second one is a little bit more complicated, is to screen and or look for the target local partner, supplier or customer based on some criteria, and conduct the background check, and leverage on our comprehensive corporate database. We are able to develop the long list or short list of the potential partner, and based on their selection criteria, and conduct the background check. Regarding the market insight, for some customer who want to get the understanding and periodic monitor of the specific market, we have ready to purchase industry report to offer, and we cover some selected sector with ready to purchase report like banking, consumer finance, cement or packaging, and the customer can review and purchase our report online via our website. And for some other case, we do not have the ready to purchase report, or customer may have the specific request. We may provide the customized study. And besides the traditional market study covering the market size, market share, segmentation, or competition landscaping, we are able to help them to source the potential partner and arrange the meeting or the meeting with the management of the company visit. And we also support the negotiation with the local partner until the due done of the contract side. And for this customer research, we cover various sectors. Yeah, not with coverage sector from the manufacturing, financial sector, agribusiness or service. And in Vietnam, we also actively participate in various M&A transactions to provide commercial due diligence to have our clients to get in-depth understanding or analysis of the target, especially thorough assess of the business risk of the target company and their potential impact on the target key assumption and business plans, so that to support them to make informed investment decisions into transactions. And leverage on our in-depth expertise, sector expertise, we also work with and support our clients to develop optimal market entry strategies. Yeah, it's maybe the greenfield FDI investment or M&A or trading engagement. Yeah. And in the next slide, I would like to share with you some our case study we actually handle for our clients for some M&A transactions which have closely done in public side on the media. We are allowed to disclose the full name, or for the other engagement, we sign the confidentiality with the customer, so we do not show the full name of our customer. Here, I would like to go very quickly some case study. For example, we have one leading Korean part manufacturers. They want to penetrate Vietnam market, and therefore they want to get in-depth understanding of the home appliance or consumer electronics part manufacturing market in Vietnam, and also sourcing the potential customer. We have conducted comprehensive study on the market, and based on their selection criteria, we have developed the shortlist of potential partner, including the foreign and local customer in the OEM and electronic manufacturing service in Vietnam. And then by the end of the engagement, we have connected the clients with the selected leading player in the sector, including the foreign and local ones in here, to support them to develop the business collaboration. And we also engaged on some M&A transactions. For example, in here, I would like to show an example with Joy. Joy is the Japan Infrastructure Investment Corporation under the Japanese government. In 2019, they conducted a study on the port operation and review a target company, Governmental Corporation, and they hired us to conduct the comprehensive study on the port operation sector and the due diligence on the target Governmental Corporation. And by the end of the engagement, Joy, together with the Sumitomo and Suzy, has closed a deal to acquire 10% stake in Governmental in July 2019. And we also support the sell side partner in some M&A transactions. For example, last year, Sweeten considered to Sweeten Plastic. Yeah, it is one of the leading rigid packaging manufacturers in Vietnam. They consider a transaction to sell to the SCG packaging, and they hire us to conduct an in-depth study on the rigid packaging to have their management and shareholder to get in-depth understanding of the market and evaluate the Sweeten market positioning and the potential offer from the SCG packaging. And based on our report finding, they have successfully closed the deal and sell 70% stake to the of the Sweeten Plastic Manufacturing Corporation and subsidiary of Sweeten to SCG Packaging. So yes, I would like to give you very quick overview on our case study. Yeah, so you can read in more detail in the slide later on. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Don. Okay, so I think we've got about 30 minutes for the Q&A and discussion. So maybe I will just share my screen here. Okay, so again, I want to quickly go through some of the questions we have received in advance. So maybe Ms. Hugh, you would like to add comments, or would you like to highlight any specific event or trend?
Em trả lời liền luôn tất cả câu ạ. Sorry. Just come back to the first question related to which FDI sectors should be encouraged by Vietnamese government, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's come back to Mr. Dong's slide, the number 12. You can see the information on the slide of Mr. Dong. We have resolution 50 of the Central Committee Politburo to improve the efficiency of foreign investment by 2030. And we have resolution 58 of the government to implement resolution number 50, in which we the government define prefer project of advanced technology, new and clean and high tech with advanced management, high added value and spillover effect and linkages with global supply chains, which is the direction from the Politburo and from the government. And Mr. already mentioned about the zero carbon commitment of the Prime Minister on COP26, and we have decision number 1658 of the Prime Minister on October 2021 on the national strategy on green growth in the period of 2021 and 2030, in which the government encouraged advanced technology, digital transformation, smart and sustainable infrastructures, and also we encourage the project to stimulate the private sector and increase their contribution to the green economy. The project in new energy sources, renewable energy and hydrogen with offshore mill energy will be highly encouraged. And also in the investment law 2020, Article 16, the National Assembly entitled the list of investment projects eligible for investment incentive. For example, the investment project in the high encouraged sector, for example, high tech, new material and energy, key electronic and mechanical products, IT product, or recycle of waste product and service part of the value chain. Also, the investment project located in the areas which are eligible for investment, for example, the disadvantages and extremely disadvantaged areas, industrial zone, economic zones, and high-tech zones. The government also provide the investment incentive for large-scale project. For example, the project over 6,000 million Vietnamese dong dispersed within 3 years from the issuance date of the investment registration, and also the project with total revenue of about more than 10,000 million Vietnamese dong. also high-tech enterprise, science technology enterprise, and the project in transfer of technology are also highly encouraged. In startup field, the startup project of small and medium enterprise, National Innovation Center and Research and Development Center are also encouraged by the government. We also provide the incentive for the small and medium enterprise to have them to get to engage in the distribution, international distribution channel by providing the support, the location support for small and medium enterprises, enterprise in the incubation center, and providing co-working space for the company. And also in decision 191831, dated in November 2021, the government provided a list of national projects calling for investment, in which we highlight 157 projects in 9 major sectors. For example, transport infrastructures, industrial park and economic zone infrastructures, energy, information technology infrastructures, waste and wastewater treatment system, education and healthcare, culture, sport and tourism, and agriculture, as well as the production and service field. And also by the end of 2021, the Minister of MPI already proposed to the Prime Minister a strategy, the national strategy to attract FDI in 2021 to 2030. And in this report, we highlight 4 main categories of the country to invest, to call for investment in the next period, including high tech, new tech, new and advanced technology, automobiles, medicals, electronic equipments, and R&D sector, and 4.0 technology, and certainly manufacturing sector of manufacturing, for especially manufacturing for agriculture. Third, medical equipment and healthcare, education, logistics with high value-added services, and fourth, infrastructures, energy, clean, especially clean energy and recycle energy, and a smart factory and smart city.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I think you have covered many questions. Actually, so, okay. So shall we move on to other questions? So I think it's similar to the last questions. There are some the top sectors on the foreign investment and mandates from the corporate point of views. Don, apart from what you shared earlier during the presentation, do you want to add something?
Yes. Yes, thank you, Anita-san. Yes, regarding the M&A, I think that there are some sector attractive for the corporate M&A here in Vietnam. The first one is maybe the licensing business, the license business, such as the renewable energy or the banking and consumer finance. For example, in banking and consumer finance, as I mentioned before, yes, for now in Vietnam, the government do not give the new license, do not grant the new license. So the optimal way to enter the market is to purchase the existing one, in the market. So M&A will be the optimal market entry in this case. And the second one is maybe some business that require a lot of legal procedures. Yeah, for example, in renewable energy, yes, we have very large local renewable energy projects in here, and the local developers, they are very active in acquire the project and get the get the license process and site clearance very quickly, go through very quickly. So in this case, I think that the optimal way to enter the markets for the foreign investor is to collaborate with the local developers. Yeah, they can bring in the not only the capital but also the expertise in the sector and collaborate with the local developers in here to develop. Yeah.
Sure.
And for the and for the FDI, I think that for the FDI investment, it's maybe more relevant for the greenfield project. For example, in the part manufacturing, we have also received so many requests from the FDI investor. They want to join the manufacturing in here, and in the manufacturing, the local player is not good at the manufacturing in here. Therefore, they can set up the greenfield project in manufacturing. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Don. Actually, I would like Daryl to speak a little bit as well.
Yes.
So maybe, so finding right partners and building relationship with them is always challenging for foreign businesses. So maybe Daryl, as a non-Vietnamese entrepreneur, do you have any advice just to the fellow business leaders?
I think maybe I can share a bit about how we started working with FiinGroup, because that's actually a very good case study. One of the most important thing is you need a mutual introduction, because usually when you enter into a new market, you don't know who you can trust. And actually, both FiinGroup and us, we both had a common business partner who connected us many years ago, and then we started working together. And I think one of the common struggles, of course, would be language. You can see that all of us are making the effort to speak in a common tongue, but it's always still challenging. And quite frankly, when you try to get information about, especially ASEAN countries, because there's so many languages, it's always quite difficult. So certainly, that's also one of the things that we both try to help our customers with. I didn't mention just now because I thought it wasn't relevant, but like a lot of the news that we get actually isn't in English, but you see it all in English because we already run it through a translation engine to make it easily accessible. Part of the reason why technology helps is because if you have to read a lot of material not in your native tongue, it's very slow and tiring. And that's why AI helps you to scan. So those are things that I think can help, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to understand the market that you're going into, even though you don't read or speak their language. Yeah. But really, at the end of the day, you need a guide. Someone like Mr. Dong is very important. I would say that the reports that FiinGroup produces is actually one of the most important starting points, because if not, you don't really know where to start looking. It's very difficult to begin. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Dario, for your very good comments on the FiinGroup and our relationship. And I would like to add on some comments on into the Dario reply to this question. And from our side, we have we have support our foreign customer to expand their business in here for many years. So we have a lot of hands-on experience to work with both the local and foreign players in here. And one of the challenges for the foreign investor is the first one, they do not get the reliable market insight, and the second one, they cannot have the how to screen or look for the right partner to establish the collaboration. Yeah, so in FiinGroup, we provide the customer, our clients, not only the in-depth market intelligence report, but also we can screening and shortlist and develop the shortlist of the potential partner based on our clients' criteria. It's maybe the financial criteria, the operational criteria, and even the corporate governance. And then we are able to approach to the key shareholder of the company to discuss about the willingness their willingness to collaborate with the outside investor. And of course, on this engagement, in order to ensure the strict confidentiality of the project, all our discussion with the potential local partner is on no-name basis. Yeah, and based on the result of the discussion, we can develop the shortlist of the potential partner that qualify the criteria set by our clients and willing to collaborate with our partner. And then we support them to approach and initiate the negotiate with the top management of the key shareholder of the company and start the business journey in here.
Okay. I also would like to emphasize the really important roles of the consulting company like FiinGroup, because actually we receive a lot of inquiries from investors, especially for investors. They ask for information, they ask for potential partners, but actually the authorities, as an authority, we do not have all the information to provide for them, and that is a role of a consulting company like FiinGroup. And I hope that with more company like FiinGroup, we can have more potential investors coming to Vietnam.
Okay. Thank you so much for your introduction, Ms. Hiếu. And in here, we also collaborate with not only the local authorities like line ministries, but also with some foreign country trade and investment promotion agency like the Cocha, Vetro, or Shed, or the Enterprise Singapore, to have their SME company to get in-depth understanding the market and look for the right partner, local partner to collaborate here in Vietnam.
Thank you both. So I think we want to cover some of the questions from the floor while the team put together some short lists. Sorry, team, I can't really get access to this. So let me just pick up a few from the Q&As. So I saw some questions on the M&A approval process. I'm sure this is not exactly your responsibility, but Ms. Hiếu, can you probably share some tips or information to the foreign investors on how to efficiently go through those process?
The M&A process? Actually, the M&A process in the new law on investment, they already has been streamlined as simpler than before. MA, as Mr. Dom already said, it's suitable for a typical project. For example, it's difficult for the foreign investor to get access to the market. It's difficult for the investor to find a suitable partner in the country, and also the manufacturing projects. So I think, and the trend for M&A project is the coming time likely to increase with new FTA and new international rules for the entrance. M&A, like every project, will start from the provincial level. It's better for the company to get in touch with, for example, if the project you like to process the M&A activities in the industrial zone, it's better for you to come to the management board of the industrial zone to get for the guidance and for the information. And also, if the project outside the industrial zone, it's better for you to go to the planning, the DPI, the Division of Planning and Investment in the People's Committee. And for further information, you can get in touch with the consulting company like FiinGroup to provide you more on the legal advisory for MAD activities. Yes.
Thank you very much. We have some questions on the specific sectors, like renewable energy. I think you have covered some of the things already, but also the plastic industries. Can you share a little bit of your knowledge about the investment trend around these sectors, please, if you have any idea?
Plastic sector, is it right, Anita-san? Yeah. Yes. Regarding plastic sector, is also one of the key sectors the FiinGroup has covered for years. For now in Vietnam, we have the 4 segments in the plastic sector. The first one is the plastic packaging. The second one is the construction plastic, and the technical plastic and the household plastic, and the plastic packaging and household is enjoy the double-digit growth in the recent years. Is over 12 to 13% already, and the main drivers for the growth in the plastic packaging, as you may know, it's come from the domestic demand and export markets. Yeah, domestic demand is come from the retail sector or the consumer goods. Yeah, and for now in Vietnam, one of the key trends, I think that not only in Vietnam but also in the world, in the plastic sector, is the recycled plastic. Yeah, and in Vietnam for now, as I mentioned before, the government is very interested in the environmental protection, and they encourage the recycled plastic production. And according to the new law on the environment, yeah, here in Vietnam we initiate the expanded producer responsibility concept, and for now we are working to implement this concept. That means in this case the manufacturers who have the plastic packaging have to have responsibility to collect and recycle the plastic packaging, including the flexible packaging or rigid packaging. Yeah, and also in Vietnam, some international brand owners like Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Nestle, they have committed to increase the percentage of the recycled plastic in their packaging. And for now, some of the local and foreign plastic manufacturers consider to develop the manufacturing facilities to produce the plastic resin and plastic packaging to serve the demand. And
Yes.
also, yeah, and also for the new FTA, for example, the CPTPP or the EV FTA, we have complied very strictly regulation on the environment, and the recycled plastic is also one of the encouraged sector. We expect to boost the export of the recycled business product to the member country of this FTA.
For all the attendees' benefit, you will later receive the sample report from the FiinGroup on the plastic packaging and the cement market and the consumer finance as well from the previous year. So you can take a look on the further information as well. And on the ScoutAsia's product that Daryl presented earlier, we will also share the fact sheet later through the email. So you can take a further look on these materials. And if you are interested, you can come to us and request for the further guidance. We are happy to help anytime. So actually, we are coming to the end of the whole session. Unfortunately, we have a lot of more questions, and we are certainly will be sharing these with the respective speakers. So if there's any chance, you can continue conversation with all of us. So maybe before closing the entire session, maybe I'd like to maybe Don and Daryl and Ms. Hill, you could, and especially for Don and Daryl, maybe you want to share what you can offer after this event to the audience today?
Yes, thank you, Nita-san. Yes, as Nita mentioned, yes, after the meeting, we will share our presentation with the audience. And in addition to the presentation deck, the FiinGroup will also share some sample industry report.
Sure, yes.
Some certain sector, like packaging, plastic packaging, cement, or consumer finance is the sample report only. So you can see the in-depth and the sector analysis, our logical thinking and visualization. And in case you need or you have the specific request on any sector or any potential partner in Vietnam, yes, here in Vietnam, we are willing and happy to help you to handle this assignment. And we have over 10 years experience to support various foreign investors overseas and also in Vietnam to expand their business in here. And we believe we are able to have capability to handle and help you to expand business successfully in here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Daryl, maybe?
Sure, I think we really want to help everyone here do more business in Vietnam. I think there's two ways that I hope ScoutAsia can help you. The first is whoever you choose to work with, whichever industry you choose to enter, I think we can help you with monitoring what's happening in the industry through the detection of the relevant news, changes in regulations, M&A, new technology, right? And the second thing is, there's a saying, birds of a feather flock together. It's the same in business. When you find one good company or partner you can trust, usually you start there and then you find who else they work with, and there's a higher chance those are people you may want to work with as well. And that is why the second thing I hope we can do for you is to understand the network so that once you find that first partner that you're happy with, you can multiply that into a wider group that you can do business with.
Thank you, Daryl. And Ms. Hugh, would you like to
Yes,
one more?
I also think that finding the right partner, the right companion is very important for your yes, doing business in the country. And I do hope that ScoutAsia and FiinGroup may be a good choice for companion in the investment process in the country. And I also leave my email address to the organizer. So maybe if you have more questions or you need more information related to the business climate, environmental climate in the country, you may drop an email. So I'm very willing to receive the feedback from you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hill. Thank you, everyone, for spending almost 1 hour and a half with us. Yes, don't forget to leave your comment through the feedback form. We really appreciate your thoughts. And then also after finishing the form, you can download the slides. So I believe it will be very good giveaway for you as well. So thank you so much and have a great week ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.